Sharon in Ohio has a similar line of thought. She asks, listening as to WCRF, in John 8:34, Jesus says, "Everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The son remains forever." Does this mean if I continue to sin, continue to do something I know that is not good for me and not God's will, that I am not truly saved?
I always feel sad that there are so many people who worry about either A, not being truly a believer, or B, that they can lose their salvation. And recognizing that once we believe, we will keep sinning. What John 8 is talking to the person who has had absolutely no change in any area of life. It's talking about the person who rebels against God. It says the one who practices sin is a slave to sin. That's the person who's saying, I'm not just sinning, I'm going to practice it. I'm going to get better at sinning. It's talking about the person who has a habitual lifestyle, doesn't want to change, doesn't care about change, hasn't believed, nothing. But a person who believes and then says, but I still do something that's wrong for me and I can't seem to break it. Hey, if you weren't a believer, you wouldn't care. You'd be like the person in John 8:34.
Right.
And so the idea there is that's the person who doesn't care about sin. They don't believe it offends God. That's just I love it. That's what I want to do. And that's not what you are, Sharon. So don't worry if you're truly saved. What you need to do is trust God, pray, confess, and allow him to transform your life by yielding to his Spirit. Know what his word says, reckon it's true, and yield to the Spirit of God. And that's how we can break patterns of sin in our life, but not by worrying about whether you're saved or lost it.
But by thinking more about how we can be more obedient instead of worrying.
Yeah, meditate on God's word, practice spiritual disciplines. There are so many things that we can do that will transform our lives.